sick of seeing all the hype and all the bullets and all the buzzwords and all the superficiality. When I started, just for a reference, when we gave bonus programs, they were real. They were programs that were really being sold right then for $2,000, but we were selling 15 to $25,000 training programs. When we made I would always, for myself or my client, and we did $250 million of training programs in about 3 years when I was about your age. And we had not one, we had sometimes 4 different levels of risk reversal embedded in an offer. So it was really, it was almost, we identified every inherent reason why somebody wouldn't go forward. And we always wanted to make it easier to go forward and say yes rather than no.
Yeah. Can I actually just elaborate on that a little bit? Because you were a huge inspiration. There's actually a training in our group that, it's been seen thousands and thousands of times, and I call it the unfair sales advantage. And a big part of that, like you mentioned, with your risk reversal is underneath that is, and I learned this from you, is like really having a voice to the market. I remember this is a little bit of a tactical thing, but I remember you said when you wrote copy that you would go to Amazon and you'd grab all the books on the topic and look at the 5 and 1-star reviews and see what people were trying to move towards and what they were moving away from it. And they said in their own passionate words, in their own way. And often Amazon even makes it easier because they upvote the answers people agree with. So you can see like how repetitive an idea is. And I've taken this a little bit further because I found a couple sites you can do it as well as Amazon, but you can really get into the mindset of the person you're intending to serve. And the beautiful thing about like being online is you can actually go read people's innermost thoughts on a subject and it's like it's right out there in the open. And I learned that from you. So big kudos.
And 2 things. We call it the Amazon.com School of Marketing. And if you understand it, you can write better copy following it than most professional copywriters. And just I can go into it if you want me to, but we actually have a SaaS-based system that'll be out in about 3 months. We're going to sell. Maybe you can be a partner with us. We're going to sell it to ad agencies and copywriters because I've proven that I can help somebody write better copy than, maybe not than a Gary Benzavinga or whoever the top online, but better than 90% of the copywriters just by using Amazon and discussion groups and reviews and if they understand the psychology that basically we have a concept that I introduced years ago, Frankie, you know about it. It's called the strategy of preeminence, and it's about elevating your product, service, company, yourself to the role as being seen as the most trusted advisor for life. But part of it, inherent in it, is being able to put into words for the first time ever what people really want or don't want in ways no one has ever articulated, where the subconscious says to the person, they understand me. I've never thought about it that way before. Yes, that is exactly what I want or don't want. Yeah. And they understand it. Thus they must be able to provide it.
Yeah. I think there, a step people miss in that journey is I think people are so eager to go try stuff out as they miss step 1, which what you're really doing to me is and I think all the pros do this across every industry. This, I know, like you're probably like the number 1 guy in the world at it, but everybody everywhere who does this, which is really like an active, deep listening of the market and understanding, who these people are, like having a real empathy, like actually caring about them beyond just seeing them as a transaction. I like to joke about this, but it's kind of true. Like I think a lot of people in our space see everybody as a credit card with legs. Like they occasionally got a pulse and they're engaged in some sort of wrestling match of like, how can I pry the credit card out of their hand? And if you think about it more as like who are these people and how can I contribute something to them? Like you said, you can set up these huge deals for you that on step 2, you're the highest paid person in the deal, but everybody else gets what they want first. And there's a real magic to that kind of structure. Not that that's your only strategy. You got about 90
Yeah,
million.
but you're actually right. And part of the key is you got to be willing to fall in love with the clients you or your company or your client, if you're a copywriter, serves, and you've got to be able to really understand what it's like to be in their life. And what I find and one of the reasons that I stopped, I mean, for many years we didn't even take opt-ins, we just gave shit away because I got sick of seeing all the hype and all the bullets and all the buzzwords and all the superficiality, and it made me sick because they didn't really try to understand, what the real depth of humanity that represented this man or woman who was their target audience. And the more you understand them and they see that you do, if you're playing a long game, not just a tactical game, the more residual yield you're going to get out of the relationship. But you've got to be able to see your product or service deployed in that person's life and the impact it makes after they purchase. I think most people think about it until they purchase.
Yeah, 100%.
And then they're out of here. I think the key where you really gain advantage is if you understand. So if I help you, so if this interview impacts people, what it's going to mean is people that listen are going to look at what they do, who they do it with, how they do it differently. What that's going to mean is they're going to be able to connect with their audience more authentically. What that means is it'll be more sales, shorter sales cycles. What it means is people will trust them more and they'll buy more. What it means is whatever product or service that company is selling will get into the hands, if the product or service has relevant value, it'll get in the hands of more people who can benefit. What it means is the people who can benefit will have either more security, more happiness, less weight, more self-esteem, greater sex life, more career. And what that will mean is their families will have more security. Their futures will be, and you have to go all those levels. And if you can't do that, then whoever can has an advantage over you.
Yeah.